Okay, so let's get one thing straight right off the bat. Forget what you think you know about blockchain. We're not here to talk about the latest Ethereum killer that just, shaves a few cents off of transaction fees. Nope. Today, we're diving into a project that's aiming for a much, much bigger prize, actually rebuilding the internet itself. Let's get into it. To really understand why this is so critical, let's just rewind a few weeks ago. Do you remember when it felt like half the internet just stopped working? That huge Cloudflare outage? That wasn't some random fluke. It was a massive warning sign. And the reason for all that chaos? It was shockingly simple. A single point of failure. You see, our modern internet, this thing we rely on for literally everything, is basically a giant house of cards. When one critical, centralized piece like Cloudflare gets knocked over, it takes giants like Spotify and even parts of Amazon Web Services right down with it. And that's the whole point. While that fragile, centralized tower was collapsing, the internet computer didn't miss a beat. Not a single second of downtime. This wasn't just some technical glitch. It was a crystal clear demonstration of why our current digital infrastructure is just fundamentally broken. But wait, you might be thinking, isn't that what Web3 is supposed to fix? Well, not exactly. The version of Web3 that most people know and talk about hasn't really delivered on its promise of a truly decentralized internet. Not yet, anyway. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. Most blockchains, they're basically just digital accountants. They're really good at keeping track of who owns which token. But here's the kind of dirty secret of Web3. Almost all of those so-called decentralized apps, they're running on the very same centralized servers they claim they want to replace. ICP is built differently. It's not just a ledger, it's a full-blown decentralized cloud, designed to host entire applications from start to finish completely on-chain. The magic that makes all this possible is a technology called canisters. The best way to think about them is like smart contracts on steroids. A traditional smart contract is kind of like a single macro in a spreadsheet, but a canister is the entire software suite. It's powerful enough to run a full-scale social network, every single profile, photo, and video entirely on the blockchain with zero need for a centralized server. So this unique architecture isn't just some cool tech for its own sake. It's actually a direct solution to the fundamental problems that have been plaguing blockchain for years and really holding back mainstream adoption. First up, the #1 user experience killer in all of crypto, gas fees. This idea that you have to pay a little fee for every single click, every like, every message, it's just a massive wall for anybody who isn't already deep in the crypto world. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? I mean, seriously, imagine if Google charged you a few cents for every single search. Would you use it? Of course not. So why on earth would we expect normal people to put up with that in Web3? Well, ICP completely flips this system on its head with something called the reverse gas model. Here, the applications themselves pay for their own computation, which means the users pay nothing. It's a completely seamless experience, just like using Instagram or Twitter. No annoying wallet pop-ups, zero friction. All right, next up, let's talk security. The crypto space has lost billions and billions of dollars to hacks. And the single biggest vulnerability, the Achilles heel, has always been bridges, those centralized gateways that are supposed to let you move assets between blockchains. ICP's solution here is pretty mind-blowing. It's a technology called chain key cryptography. To put it simply, it lets ICPs speak the native language of other blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum directly. And what that means is no more risky bridges. An app on ICP can hold and use actual Bitcoin, not some wrapped synthetic IOU. It's a native, incredibly secure connection that basically makes those huge cross-chain hacks a thing of the past. And finally, we have the problem that makes fully on-chain applications practically impossible on most other networks: the absolutely insane cost of storing data. And this is where it gets really crazy. On a network like Ethereum, storing a single megabyte, which is less than one high-quality photo, can cost thousands of dollars. It just wasn't built for data. ICP, on the other hand, was designed from day one for affordable, massive-scale storage. And that economic difference, that's what makes a fully on-chain social network possible on ICP and a total pipe dream everywhere else. So, look, this all sounds great in theory, right? But is it actually happening? The answer is yes. We are seeing this technology translate into real, tangible, on-chain growth right now. I mean, just look at the data coming straight from the blockchain. Daily active addresses are up 35% month over month. The number of smart contract calls is climbing steadily. This isn't just hype or speculation. It's a clear sign that real people are using this stuff, and that usage is picking up steam. And it's not just retail users either. We're seeing huge infrastructure projects, like bringing WordPress, which, let's remember, powers over half the internet, fully on-chain. Even traditional finance is getting in on the action, with a Swiss private bank using ICP to upgrade its customer systems. And get this, here's the real kicker for that WordPress integration. By enabling caching on-chain, hosting a website on ICP could become up to 90% cheaper than traditional Web 2 hosting. I mean, 90%. That's not just an improvement, that's a complete game changer. This brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway of all. And if you understand this next point, you'll grasp the true scale of what the internet computer is actually trying to do. This is the fundamental shift in perspective you have to make. Stop comparing ICP to other blockchains. It's not playing the same game. The real competitors, the true targets, are Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud. This was never about building a better crypto. It's about building a better internet. What we're talking about here isn't just small incremental improvements. This is a fundamental rewrite of how our digital world is built, who controls it, and who owns it. And it leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. Who do you really think is building the next version of the internet?